All right, good morning, traders. What it is, what it do. Got another beautiful Monday morning. I love Mondays. It's the start of because the market is open after a long weekend of not being able to trade. We get to start fresh, with a fresh week. All right, so let me get logged in here. Just logging in to Thinkorswim so I like to hear the bell. That's really the only. I look at some stocks on Thinkorswim, but I usually don't do that until the market is closed. Get that out of the way. All right, so let's get things going. Let me so that's ready. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our pre-market insight over here on my mv3trader.com. Oops, don't want to go there. Let's go check out some pre-market insight. See what's going on this morning. If my internet don't want to be too slow. I think this is the website. All right, so we don't, as far as the economic calendar, we don't have anything going on. Nothing significant today. The rest of the week, we have a lot of economic reports at 8:30. Tuesday, tomorrow, that's the core CPI. Nothing Wednesday except for the crude oil inventories at 10:30. That's normal. And then Thursday, we got a list of things that I'm expecting to see some volatility kick in on Thursday around that time. And then Friday, we're going to close the week out with building permits. All right, so it's a normal week, kind of light in terms of economic activities that can push the market, in any direction. So other than that, we'll be just probably looking out for Trump tweets and any major headlines. That's basically what moves the market, other than economic, events. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our power range. All right, so we got a high of 10. My morning stock market weather report. Every time I say we got a high of, it sounds like I feel like I'm giving a weather report. But for the power range today, we got a high of 10,909 and with a low of 10,848.25. Where the pre-market we traded bullish, had a change of, at the time of this posting, had a change of 0.92%, which is pretty significant, and with 95K of volume. Since it's the weekend, since it's a Monday coming up from the weekend, that volume is relatively high. But I think it's just excitement from the market being open again, and there was some other news also. Tesla and a couple other stocks, they're continue to trade higher. Excuse me. They continue to trade higher. So it was some, we had a little bit of interesting weekend in terms of trading outside of normal market hours. I'm trying to pull up the article. Yeah, so it was Tesla, Pepsi, and MGM Resorts. They had a pretty, they had a exciting weekend, so to say. I definitely would not be looking to buy into Tesla right now. Let me look at MGM just to sidetrack the broadcast for a minute. So they must gapped up into, probably if I go to Thinkorswim. Oh yeah, that's huge. That is huge. So they closed on Friday at 64.09 with a nice little inside candle. That's a very bullish pattern right there, and we gapped up to a high of 77 over the weekend. That is major. All right, so if I was to trade, if I was day trading this, I probably wouldn't day trade this, me personally. And I know there's a lot of people who would like to trade momentum stocks like this, and this is a good gap up stock to trade, because there's a lot of, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of volatility in this stock today. So especially if you're a scalper, you can take advantage of that. Let me look at Tesla real quick too, and then okay. So they closed at 1544 and gapped all the way up to right now we're at 1653. All right. Okay, I see you. I see what you're doing. Yeah, that's pretty significant. All right, so little sidetrack. That was, that's really the only thing interesting that I saw in the news in terms of the stock market this morning. Of course, there's always coronavirus stuff, but I'm not gonna feed into all of that. If you want to hear about coronavirus, there's a lot of places you can go to hear about that. Everybody's talking about coronavirus right now, and reasonably so. But all right, so let's look at the power range. You see, right now NQ is continuing to trade into new all-time highs. A lot of bullish activity in the market for now. Eventually, we will have to put, the market will pull back. So, we got to be aware of that. I'm going to be trading every single day because, it's not like a stock where you want to, my investment plan is definitely different than my day trading plan. And usually every day NQ gives, has good price action that we can take advantage of. So I'm not going to wait for a pullback before, of course. But I'm not expecting anything, any major moves until we do have a pullback. At least something like this or like this. I'm not, eventually, everybody's expecting a crash. Who knows? Eventually the market does crash and correct, but no one knows when it's going to happen. So again, this is one of the things that you should have a plan to be prepared for, but don't try to speculate when it's going to happen. 9 times out of 10, well, from personal experience and from other traders' advice and their experience, when you try to speculate and a crash, you usually end up on the wrong side of what seems to be a crash, but it's not really a crash. All right. So much for that. All right. So we can see the our power range here. We bounced around inside the power range since the open. Almost traded sideways until the pre-market to around 6-7 o'clock, and that's Eastern time. And now we got some rejection up here. If we can clear this rejection sometime today, the sky's the limit from there. This is from from my point of view. I'm just gonna bring up my pen too. From my point of view, we have a candle like this. It has a name. People name it. I don't waste time trying to remember the name. I just familiarize myself with the sentiment, right? So anytime we have this kind of a wick or this kind of a candle, that's a strong sell signal. And if we trade above that, or if we clear that, then you got a lot of people up here that have stop losses placed up here. And so what does that mean? That means they're going to get, if the market trades up, they're going to get stopped out, and we're going to trade higher. That's typically what happens. You also got some short sellers up here that are going to try to short at the same time. So it'll become if we trade up here, it's not going to just shoot straight up. We'll bounce around a little bit, and then we'll go up, or we'll get rejected again, and we'll trade down. Usually what I see what happens is if we clear a candle like this, we trade higher, and we have a lot of momentum popping out of this kind of resistance. So just a quick little nugget on the Kevin Hart side of the game. If y'all haven't checked his new Audible book out, y'all gotta check that book out. Matter of fact, that's the book of the week. For the second time in a row, I actually posted that on, I think, Twitter. That was the book of the week like a couple weeks ago. But that book, his audio, and I think what's so good about his Audible is that he reads it. Usually, I prefer books Audible. I prefer Audible books that the author actually, they do the narration for it. So, and the way he does it, of course, it's Kevin Hart. So, yeah, and it's not just the entertainment value of it, but it's actually he's talking about giving some real good advice in that book. So that is the book of the week. If you haven't checked that out yet, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and check that out. All right, so we got about 3 minutes to the open. Just gonna hang out until the open and make sure I'm good on Sierra chart. Make sure everything is good to go over here. And while we do that, let's go ahead and get some music going. Get my flow together. Alright, so the audio should definitely be better. We're going to do a quick sound check. Come on, delay. All right. Yep, as expected, we got a lot of rejection up there. All right, there we go. There's the bell, and we are off. Okay. All right, I'm looking at this. I drew this horizontal line in here. There's a lot of recent support, we had a floor. If I was actually, it would look better as a trend line. It would make more sense as a trend line. But I'm just gonna just to illustrate. You know, I usually don't use trend lines. I use horizontal lines to mark out my support resistance areas. Because like I said before, I don't look at these really as lines. You know, these are areas where I expect something to happen. Alright, so I'm gonna get that out the way. I want to keep my charts as clean as possible. Like if I ever make a tweak to the indicators on my charts or my strategy, the overall goal is to keep my charts and my strategy as simple as possible. For me personally, having a super complex strategy or having I haven't met any traders. Actually, I've heard some people say that having a lot of things on their chart somehow works for them. But if I've heard, so many more people testify that the cleaner their charts are, the better it is for them. That's just that's the overall sentiment in terms of having a lot of indicators on your chart and how well it actually helps you with your trading. So I like to keep things extremely simple. I think at this point I can actually trade without any indicators. Indicators just helps you kind of see things a little bit quicker and process what's going on a little bit faster. All right, so we got some bulls coming in really strong here. All right, so we took out that previous resistance. So I definitely think we should continue to trade higher. Of course, we don't know how high it's gonna go, and we don't know exactly when that's gonna happen. I want to take it, but I don't like. That's not, I prefer the pullback for my first trade. My first trade, I prefer a pullback. So let me just be patient. Now, if I was already profitable and trading with house money, I would have took that all day, every day. However, on my first play, I want to go for a more probability. What did I just say? A higher. I want to go for a play that has a higher probability of working out. So I'm just gonna be patient and wait for a better setup. And see, we got rejected up there. This is why it could have worked out. I'm not saying that it could not have worked out at all. However, it's a much lower probability of success for that working out. And trading is a game of probabilities. Look at that. And we got rejected pretty. Them bears coming in strong. What's up, baby? Wifey in the building. Appreciate you. Is everybody? What is everybody looking at? Where put it down, put it in the chat what you're trading. If you've been trading anything, and if you're watching this later, let me know in the comment section. What you're trading, what you're looking at, how you're at the end of the day, how your day went. If you know, if you had a green day, red day, it's all good as long as you stuck to your plan. You didn't step outside of your plan, and as long as you did what you're supposed to do, you gotta, it's up to the market if it wants to give you profits or not. Your job is to have a plan and then trade your plan, right? And don't step outside of that. Be disciplined and all that good stuff that we always hear about. So, just let me know at in the comment section below after your trading day, how it went for you. I could have bought the dip right there, but again, that would have been too aggressive for me. That would have been like a micro pullback. Shout out to Warrior Trader. I hope we don't have like another day like we had last week where it chopped around in the mornings and never really gave me a real opportunity until later on in the day. Actually, last week, if I remember correctly, the afternoons had the best opportunities, from my perspective. The mornings were pretty volatile, like in a way that that made it, really hard to trade, kind of like what we got going on right now. And then things come down in the afternoon, and we, had more of a smooth trend to close out the trading day. So I'm hoping that doesn't repeat this week. So if I would have took this breakout right here, which I did not like to do, I definitely would have taken a loss. Based on how my strategy, the strategy that I'm using right now. I actually have several different strategies, but the strategy that I'm using right now, is just to basically to lose small and take advantage of my winners. I would have taken a loss on this one. Yep, here we go again. It's all good. I can wait. If I don't get another trade today, then I can get a trade tomorrow or the next day or the day after that. Eventually, my setup's gonna come and I'm gonna take advantage of it. So that's all I'm worried about. This would have been a nice move to have, made. I don't know. My mouth hasn't woken up this morning. But this would have been a nice move to have taken a play on, but the timing is, you would have had to get the timing right. Now, if I was getting in my hindsight capital bag, if I was to take this play, I think the best way to have taken it would have been once this first candle of the open closed, we could have placed a limit order down here, in this at the 61.8% range on this fib line, and caught the bounce on that micro pullback. I think that would be the best way to play that, because not only do we have the fib line there, we also have that resistance, that pre-market resistance. A lot of reasons to buy in that area. It just didn't happen the way that I wanted it to happen. So, I didn't take that play. I would have preferred it to do something more like, we have this candle here, and then we trade a little bit higher, we have some candles that close up in here. We pull back and then we bounce out of that area and go. But it happened really quick. Now if we look at a smaller chart, so, or a lower time frame, let me get it out the way. If I make this a 1 minute, it did that. So it did that on the 1 minute. However, I'm trading the 3 minute chart. 1 minute, 1 minute chart is a little too busy for me. That's why I don't trade the 1 minute chart. There's a lot of it tends to have more false moves, and it tends to, for me, it tends to trap me more. That's why I don't use the 1 minute, and I just don't need to trade that frequently. So the 3 minute works out for me. Let me keep that 1 minute down there. This is also this over here is a tick chart. If you would like to know, or if you're wondering how to set up a tick chart in Sierra chart, it's kind of a tongue twister. But if you would like to know how to set up a tick chart in Sierra, just leave a comment, hit me up in the chat, let me know, and I can make a video on that. Like every platform has their own little special way of using tick charts, and Sierra has a lot of different types of tick charts. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but the way that most people trade ticks, there's a specific way that you have to do it, and so if you want to know how to do that, I can go ahead and just put that in the comment section, and I'll make a video on that later. So we just hanging out, waiting for that pullback. Like I said, if I was trading with house money right now, I would have definitely taken this trade. I would have been aggressive on this move. But I'm not playing with house money yet, so I gotta wait and be patient. Didn't want to do that. While we wait, let me see what Tesla's doing. Put it in there. I don't need to see, I just need to see that part. Yeah, that move definitely makes a lot of sense. A lot of this is Nubieville. So a lot of this is, we got some, there are some experienced traders in here who are just looking to take a quick scalp and get a quick move and ride the wave, but there are also, and I would say probably more so, some inexperienced investors and traders who bought in up there. Or it'll make more sense if I pull the day trading, the daily chart in. Believe it or not, there are some people who bought right there. Whether they did it in fractional shares or they did in options or whatever. There's some people that bought up here. There's some people that are still buying up here. And me personally, I would not be buying up here at all. Yeah, I can't think of any reason why. If you can think of a reason why you want to buy it up here, go ahead and let me know. Maybe I'm missing something, but I would not be buying up here. If I wanted to get into Tesla, I would just wait. I would like it to close that gap. I would really like it to come back down here. That's what, if I was to invest in Tesla, that's where I would want it to come back down to, and then I buy some shares. Because I think Tesla will be around for a while, so I would definitely invest in Tesla. However, and again, this is my own personal opinion. This is not, I'm not telling you what you should be investing in or trading or whatever. This is just me, right? So you have to make your own decisions what you like to invest or trade, invest in or trade. But okay, so if what I'm waiting for to get in, because I missed all of this move. I missed all of that, unfortunately. But it's all good. What I'm waiting for is Tesla to, trade back, to have some pullback, to correct a little bit, and then, I'd be looking to get in. So this will be aggressive, and I probably wouldn't, buy any shares there. But I would love for it to trade back there or below there, and to get back in, or to get in. Alright, so let me go focus back on NQ. We got some pullback action going on. Didn't really pull back to where I wanted to, so still gonna be patient. Yeah, I don't need to draw anything there. I'm just gonna put a line right up in here. Could have took this play right here. I saw an opportunity, but again, that would have been an aggressive trade, and that would have been a house money trade. Right? So for now, I'm going to refer to it as house money trades, since my mouth doesn't want to say aggressive. On the 10-minute chart, I'm also looking at this area right here. Why is on the 10-minute, I'm also looking at this candle here in particular. If we break the low of that candle, I think that would be a signal for some pullback, at least. And that's something that I can look to. Then that'll give me something that I can actually play. And while I wait, so remember how like in the pre-market when we were getting set up and everything, how I was talking about here's nothing. I don't have anything yet. Because it looks better on TradingView. I want to bring it up on. I was talking about this wick here. So that's basically what happened. We traded up into that wick. We broke that resistance, and we had some people that got stopped out. This was this action right here. All of that, a lot of this is people getting stopped. Their stops getting hit, and then this, I've heard this candle here referred to as a high wave candle, or it's kind of a if I was to name it, I would name it an extended doji. But that action there was, we got short sellers trying to pick the top and trade it short, and we also have bulls or momentum traders coming in and trying to trade it up. So pretty much the way I explain it, that's what happened. Need to get my pen tube game together. It's taking me too long to move back and forth. Back and forth. And we're probably just gonna chop around for a minute. Now, if I was to exercise this weekend I had a live where I was doing I was what I'm calling practice mode. I was practicing my strategy or whatever. I was practicing my entries, and the main reason I did that was to help me see support resistance as it's actually happening. Usually I don't trade that way, and I wasn't actually necessarily practicing to trade that way and to use it in my regular trading. I was doing that really to help myself see the support and resistance areas as they happen. Because if I'm looking for those areas to place a trade in, then when I'm actually trading in my live account, I can use the skills and and experience that I gained from that, incorporate that into how I'm actually going to trade my strategy, because I'll do buy off of supports and I will sell at resistance areas. But I can use that, everything that I gained from those practice sessions to in my normal strategy, how I would normally trade. So I said all that to say that if I was doing it that way, I would have placed a limit buy order in here And as we can see, at this point, we would not have gotten filled. This also wouldn't have been a terrible area to get to place a limit order at, just because of this micro pullback. Like on the 1 minute chart, you can see it better. We had a pivot here, and also this would be like an area that we could expect, or where we could put a stop loss. Right, we shouldn't trade below this area. Here's a pivot. We could have, if I extend this line that I drew up here, it bounced right on that line. It bounced right at that period area. I don't know why I can't talk this morning. It bounced right at that pivot area. So we could have placed a limit order there, and I could have traded it the way I normally trade it. However, again, that really wasn't what I was looking for, so I missed it. I think what I'm gonna have to do is get a little slightly more aggressive, and take take more aggressive plays if we continue with this kind of price action this week. Because I could have played there. I could have at least got a scalp out of this. And I wouldn't be surprised if we chopped around, or if we even traded up here and then pulled back again. I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a pennant pattern, or if a channel is created up here. I would be surprised if we have another parabolic move out of this. That's a beautiful candle right there. I can get so much information out of this candle, but nah, I'm doing too much. Definitely interested to see how this candle closes. And if we take out this candle, if we take out this green candle here, pullback is definitely coming at you. Well, I ain't gonna say definitely, but I would expect us to trade lower. And yeah, we're wiping that green candle got wiped out, like with the quickness. That is an interesting pattern formation right there. All right, so it is 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Just make sure that you have a plan and you're trading your plan, and I will holler at y'all on the next one. Deuces.